Welcome to JoyNews Prime. We are coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomeme in Accra. We are live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV 125, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. I'm Carlos Caloni.
And I am Faustina Safo. Tonight, the Electoral Commission fights back allegations of procurement breaches in the award of over 6 million cedis contract for reprinting of leaked presidential and parliamentary ballot papers on the eve of the 2024 general elections.
Breach of the procurement law. There was no breach. The commission wrote to the CTRC on 2nd December, and the elections were supposed to take place on 7th December.
We have details as the EC says they are yet to receive police assurance to conclude the Ablikman North parliamentary results.
Also tonight, JoyNews goes deep into the Anwiaso East Forest Reserve, where over 30 excavators are ripping through the forest like claws, leaving destruction in their path as illegal miners turn a protected haven into a wasteland.
Also tonight, coalition against illegal mining unleashes intense pressure on government, demanding immediate investigation and swift prosecution of perpetrators involved in the assault on Minerals Development Fund administrator.
And in business, Fitch Ratings upgrades Ghana's long-term foreign currency issuer default rating from restricted default to B-. Details as industry experts weigh in on how this could impact the economy. There'll be business and there'll be sports.
Remember, we are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Please take a seat and be our guest.
JoyNews Prime Headlines is brought to you by Malatu and Calipo.
Well, tonight, JoyNews uncovers more than 30 excavators operating deep inside the Anwiaso East Forest Reserve, ripping apart the protected land in a brazen illegal mining operation. It's unclear who owns or controls this vast illegal mining enclave, but locals say it has become a no-go area, even for farmers who once lived and worked around the forest. The area is heavily guarded by men in military uniform and others posing as national security operatives. Environmental journalist Erastus Asaridonko has been on the ground for days tracking this operation. He's been given details to my colleague Mcha Adeti.
If you look at when we flew our drones, if you look at the enclave, you see mining spots within the forest area. And so it tells you that definitely this is not the first time. But we have been following up on this mining activity within the Anwiaso East. In fact, it is off reserve, but is at the tail end of the Anwiaso East Forest Reserve. And it's in the town of Diaso in the western region. Now, we have been monitoring them for some time now. They have military personnel protecting them. They have mounted a barrier manned by fully clothed military men and some people wielding a number of weapons, parading as national security operatives. And if you look at the scale of destruction, this mining has been going on for months within that particular enclave. We have submitted these footages to the necessary authorities who should know. And we were expecting that something would have been done by now, but we have not heard anything from them. And that is why we are also putting out this information. So yes, it's a secret mining, illegal mining enclave. I say illegal because we have checked. It's totally unregistered. The people operating in that enclave do not have any license whatsoever to be mining there, but already they've dug pits close to about 15 football fields combined.
Oh.
And that is why we are drawing the attention of the government to it. We work on complaints from communities. We have well-meaning Ghanaians who walk to, some of them travel very far to our newsroom in Kumasi to complain to us that we should come to their aid. And we have such people who are saying that sometimes you get searched physically before you are even allowed to go through the barrier or go through that particular area to your own farm. And all because somebody is mining illegally within the enclave.
Well, the Municipal Chief Executive for Awin, Stephen Mcha, joins us on the phone line right now. Thank you so much for your time. Mr. Mcha, were you aware of this particular large-scale illegal mining operation taking place right under your watch?
Which of them, please?
The one we just reported on in the Awin area.
No, there is no Amiaso in Awin. So if we can do your checks very well, there is no Amiaso.
Yeah, but in your municipality, can you confirm if there is any illegal mining going on there?
Yes. Yes, I can confirm that because it's like there are people there right now in the area. You see, it's like they are dodging, they are doing it, and we are on them. So as I'm talking to you, we've even taken over about 33 excavators from them. So I can know. I don't have to.
So that should be the Awianso East, forest reserve, right?
Tano Amia Forest Reserve. Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly.
It's a forest reserve. Yeah, it's
exactly.
in my area. That is where Wontumi was mining, Akonta mining.
But the reports are coming now that even as we speak, there are illegal mining, operatives in that particular forest.
No, I cannot confirm that because as I'm talking to you, you see, before I left Enchi, before I left my municipality, currently I am in Accra for orientation course for MMDCs. So as I'm talking to you right now, I am at the local government ministry right now. But I left Enchi, I think about 4 or 5 days ago. And before I left, I know there are soldiers, there are security personnel there, watching the place. So if you tell me they are mining there right now, and then maybe something is wrong somewhere. I need to call 1 or 2 people to find out, to get the truth.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
To other stories now, the Electoral Commission is pushing back against accusations of negligence and financial loss over the reprinting of leaked ballot papers ahead of the 2024 election. Now, just 6 days to the polls, the EC confirmed a ballot paper leak and swiftly recalled materials from the eastern and western regions. It then re-awarded the printing contracts to Block Press and Ink Link. Appearing before Parliament, the Deputy Commissioner, Dr. Bosman Asari, revealed that reprinting cost over 6 million Ghana cedis. James Aveji has more in the following report.
Deputy Commissioner for the Electoral Commission, Dr. Bosman Asari, appeared before Parliament to answer questions on 2 key things. One was some procurement issues on the eve of the elections as well as after the December 2024 elections, and 2, on how far the EC has gone in the compilation of the Ablikma North constituency election results. Even before Dr. Bosman could take his seat, the MP, in whose name the question is, Roxanne Nelson Dapamakpo, objected to the Deputy EC appearing before the House to give answers in place of the substantive EC boss.
Mr. Speaker, so the heads are the heads. And the head of an independent constitutional body is the head. The deputies are not permissible under this provision. Mr. Speaker, I believe that we can make progress.
After the back and forth over the propriety of this, the Speaker ruled that the House constitutes itself into a committee of a whole to allow him to provide answers. On the issue of contract awarded for the reprinting of leaked presidential and parliamentary ballot papers for both eastern and western regions, just 6 days to the elections, the EC Deputy Commissioner reveals that over 6 million Ghana cedis was spent on that, insisting that there's not been any procurement breaches in the award of that contract.
2024 general elections, presidential, the cost 3,621,281 cedis and 30 pesos. The date of award of the contract, 24th December 2024. And this was for the 7th December elections, the reprinting of ballots for the eastern and western regions. The next one, 2024 general elections, parliamentary, the cost 2,442,329 cedis and 59 pesos. The date of award, 24th December 2024. For the 7th December 2024 general the parliamentary elections, for reprinting of ballots for the eastern and western regions. There was no breach of the procurement law. There was no breach. The commission wrote to the CTRC on 2nd December, and the elections were supposed to take place on 7th December. In the response by the CTRC, they indicated that we wrote to them on the 2nd of December. And before we printed the ballots, we wrote to the CTRC. So CTRC knew all the printing houses and the specific regions they were printing. So we didn't go to PPA. So it was only appropriate that when we had to withdraw ballots for the eastern and central regions, we had to go back to the same organization that permitted us to engage these printing houses. So as far as we are concerned, there was no breach of the procurement law.
On the Ablekuma North constituency coalition, which has stalled for over 6 months now, the last time the EC met the Election Security Task Force, the IGP COP Tatayohunu indicated that the police are ready, only waiting for the EC to provide them with a roadmap to finish the coalition process. But Dr. Bosman has indicated to Parliament that they are still waiting on the police to give them the go-ahead.
We haven't escalated it beyond the police, because in my response I indicated the police said they were getting advice. So we are waiting for them to write to us based on the advice for us to proceed. So we haven't done any escalation.
Parliament has therefore requested details of the procurement document in the award of those contracts. From Parliament House here in Accra, my name is James Savaji for Joy News.
Now let's do some politics, because in a bold political move, some NPP members of Parliament have thrown their weight behind the party's 2024 flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. In a closed-door meeting at his campaign office, the MPs pledged support for his potential bid to lead the party again in the 2028 elections. The meeting comes just days after the NPP set January 2026 as the date to elect its next flag bearer. Dr. Bawumia revealed that more than 60 of the party's 88 MPs have already backed him, insisting, quote, the MPs control the constituencies, unquote. There's more in the following report.
Dozens of NPP MPs thronged the campaign office of the party's 2024 flag bearer, Mahmoud Bawumia, to show their support for him. They held a closed-door meeting which lasted for about an hour. Now, after the meeting, the former vice president told us that he was happy with what was discussed.
I've had a visit from our members of parliament. I think that it was a very happy visit. It was a courtesy call, and it's a call to declare support for me. And I am so happy in terms of the group that have declared support for me from Parliament.
Some members of Parliament who were here also shared with us that they are confident that Mahmoud Bawumia is the right person to lead the party to victory in the 2028 elections.
Going to be a big advantage if MPP presents Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who has appeared on the ballot before, who has been our candidate in 2024, and that will be the obvious choice for Ghanaians.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's team and his camp are ready to battle any aspirant, whether it is in January, whether it is in June, whether it is, in fact, if they want, even tomorrow.
Well, several party supporters came to this premises, that is the campaign office of Mahmoud Bawumia, including former Majority Leader Oseiche Mensah Bonsu, and other bigwigs of the party, all in unison saying that Mahmoud Bawumia is the right person to lead the party to victory come 2028. From the Bawumia campaign office in Accra, my name is Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
Away from politics, Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa has revealed that Fred Kwarteng, the man at the center of an alleged visa scam at Ghana's embassy in Washington, D.C., siphoned over $4.8 million annually through a sophisticated scheme enabled by senior embassy officials. Addressing Parliament on Wednesday, the minister detailed how Kwarteng, with the help of accomplices within the embassy, manipulated the visa application process and issuance process as well, diverting funds and leaving hundreds of applicants in the loop. Now, the embassy in the U.S. capital is temporarily closed after all this whole controversy amid the allegations as well as investigations into the alleged visa scam. Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa is pushing for a comprehensive forensic audit of the conduct of all government officials stationed at the commission.
Speaker, investigations conducted by the top management of our ministry reveals that GTC dispatched between 150 to 350 visas and passports daily. Therefore, on average, about 250 visas and passports were dispatched daily by GTC. Right, Honourable Speaker, this implies that yearly GTC dispatched approximately 62,500 visas and passports. Mr. Fred Kwarteng was therefore raking an estimated $1,859,375 United States dollars annually for courier services alone. Mr. Speaker, you can comprehend the substantial sum he earns annually after adding fees for assisting applicants in completing their visa and passport forms, for which he charged between $60 and $100. By conservative analysis, Mr. Fred Kwarteng made about $4.8 million annually from his unlawful enterprise. Mr. Speaker, it is important to emphasize that there was no revenue sharing arrangement with the ministry. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs had no share. This $4.8 million was controlled totally by Mr. Fred Kwarteng.
Well, join us now on Zoom is the former Ghanaian ambassador to the United States, Haja Alhassan. We appreciate your time here on JoyNews Prime. You've been accused of conniving with the ex-embassy staff to defraud the state. Is that the case?
Well, I'm not sure he has exactly said that. I want to be fair to him. He has not exactly said that, but he did indicate in Parliament yesterday that I signed a contract with a Ghana Travel Consult, and it sought to legitimize palpable wrong. Those were his quotations. This conversation has been going on. He's been up, but I've been in this game long, so I wasn't worried about it. But now that he's brought my name up in Parliament, it is time that I also speak up to it. And the part that you just played is so incorrect. We signed a contract with Fred's company. The company is called Ghana Travel Company. And we allowed the company to provide services to applicants, visa and passport applicants, by dispatching their passports to them. So it's like a courier service. And the contract is clear. I sent it to Joy FM to look at. That was the rule. And for him to also take full responsibility for any undeliverable package. We stated clearly in the contract that the company will not receive any payment. And Ghana embassy is indemnified. We don't take any, he takes responsibility for any losses or any misapplication. That was clear on the contract. So I gave that contract just to make clear that This is our position. He's been doing that. He's been mailing for the embassies since 2019. I observed the 2019, 2023. I said, look, where is the formal document? It's better to have a formal document so that when there is a problem, they don't hold Ghana responsible.
But let's look at the magnitude of the scandal. Ablakwa is claiming some 4.8 million Ghana cedis was lost annually. This happened at a time when you were in office. Are you saying this happened on your blind side? Is that the case? You were not aware of this?
I think it is his imagination, and I don't know how he calculated it. One, Ghana government does not engage in courier service. We don't take funds for it. We are not in that business. We don't engage courier service. We don't do courier services. We don't. So if we give a contract to somebody to engage in courier services, it's not as if we are taking the work that Ghana government should have done and given to somebody. Ghana embassy should have done and given to somebody. So it is false. So Ghana government does not provide courier service, and Ghana government does not benefit financially from any courier service. So he took the courier service and he engages the various companies, FedEx, UPS, and comes to terms with them about payment. As his company, he did engage, and they gave him a flat rate for every country, for every state, even from California to DC, 29.75 as he indicated. Whatever he gets, I don't go to look at it because it's not Ghana's government business.
Away from the courier services, let's look at the allegations that he diverted funds meant for the state when it comes to visa application processes.
Under my watch, there was no such thing. How can you divert? Listen, when you apply for visa, you pay online. We don't receive cash. We don't receive check. So you pay online and it goes direct to Ghana, to the embassy's account for the visas. We have an account for that. It goes direct to that account. And the merchant services in this account will work on it and then post all the money into the Ghana account. So he has no access to our account. And we have auditors coming to check every year in Ghana. And no auditor has told us that there's any money diverted. But I'm saying, he says he wants to do an investigation. Let him do. And let's all hold him to the report of the investigation. It is not possible. The only money that he has access to is the money that is paid for the courier service. And that courier service, the embassy is not our work. We do not provide courier service. So whatever he's paid for, it is his money. For example, Ghana free education, free HS. We provide them free HS. But government does not provide money for transportation of the child to the school. So you cannot say the money that the parents provided for transportation of the school is money that should have been government.
But the Foreign Affairs Minister is alleging that the system that you just outlined has been compromised. The reason why he had access to funds made for the state being diverted to his personal company. Are you open to an external audit?
I'm saying that every year, Auditor General Department comes to the embassy to audit. They don't joke with the U.S. embassy because it's a big embassy. So you can ask the auditors every year when they come to audit. And the Ministry of Foreign Staff, they come with the auditors. They come to audit every year. I'm saying we don't receive cash in any way. And he has no way. Control and Accountant Department, they have senior accountants managing the account in Washington on permanent term. They post them there, 2 senior accountants managing the account. Control and Accountant General will not even allow them to divert any money. And every time, and US, you cannot just come and siphon money. He would have been, I mean, you cannot just come and siphon money from any Ghana account. It's not possible. But I'm saying, he says he's going to conduct investigation. Let him do the investigation. And I want us to hold him to it so that people don't just come and say anything. Then after some months, it just goes off. He must do the investigation and come out with a report.
I appreciate your time.
So
Thank you so much.
To emphasize that Ghana government does not engage in courier services.
Okay.
And if you ask a company to do courier service, it's not like taking away the work that Ghana government does. It should come again.
Okay.
So what is talking
I
about?
appreciate your time. Point well noted. Thank you so much. Now we have to move on to other stories.
Well, you still look at watching JoyNews Prime with us here. Still to come. Coalition against illegal mining unleashes intense pressure on government, demanding immediate investigation and swift prosecution of perpetrators involved in the assault on Minerals Development Fund administrator.
Welcome back from the break to other stories now.
Well, the Coalition Against Illegal Mining is calling for a full-scale probe into an attack on Minerals Commission Administrator Dr. Haja Alhassan and her team. The incident happened on June 5 during an operation at Bui Sobinso in the Akonfre community. Shockingly, the team was reportedly blocked and threatened by the district police officers, including the commander. The coalition is demanding immediate interdiction and prosecution of the officers involved. There's more in the following report.
The Coalition Against Illegal Mining has reignited pressure on the government over its handling of illegal mining, renewing calls for investigations and prosecutions. Addressing the media, the coalition's convener, Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, demanded the immediate interdiction of the district police commander and his officers for allegedly aiding in the attack on Dr. Haja Alhassan during a Minerals Commission's operation in the Akonfre community in the Achumampunwa district.
Anything could have happened to Dr. Haja Alhassan, the journalists who were there that day. And to think, as to quote her, that machination was perpetuated by the police command, we asked that police commander be interdicted and investigated and punished. And when these punishments are done, the police should not just hide them under their police. They should let everybody know so that the police would know that if they do wrong, they also would be punished.
With legislative instrument 2462 maturing into law today, June 19th, the coalition is also demanding that President Mahama calls on his party's majority in Parliament to take urgent steps towards its implementation in line with his promise to repeal the entire LI.
We will not accept an amendment that responds to the interests of certain individuals, not taking into account the interests of the nation. The LI 2462 must be revoked, and it's with urgency. If the president does not act, the Environmental Protection into bracket Minerals in Forest Reserve, Mining in Forest Reserves Amendment Regulation 2025 will mature and come into effect today. As a people, our only recourse will be to continue our court case. This will be unfortunate at a time when Ghanaians expect a true reset in governance. The executive must not sit aloof while citizens are left to their fate to fight for the future of the very country we entrusted into the hands of His Excellency the President. So our resolve to the President is that it is true that today the 21 days would crystallize, but His Excellency, with the majority that he has in Parliament, would still be able to cause the two-thirds majority to cause a revocation of that particular LI.
While acknowledging some progress in the government's efforts to combat illegal mining, the group expressed strong dissatisfaction over the handling of cases involving party executives allegedly complicit in their activity, including Onwin MP Oscar-Labi and 2 NDC constituency chairmen. Dr. Ashigbe insisted President Mahama must immediately initiate investigations into these individuals.
We have, however, observed and condemned resoundingly the alarming pattern of some officials from the ruling NDC being involved in illegal mining. After the unresolved case of Honorable Oscar-Labi, MP for our win, we have a petition with His Excellency the President that he has acknowledged receipt of. New reports implicate the NDC constituency chairpersons in Axim and Dunkwao of being deeply involved in Galamsey operations. This hypocrisy is unacceptable. While the NDC leadership under His Excellency the President publicly condemned illegal mining, the Honorable Minister of Lands and Natural Resources and IGP have demonstrated positive actions to deal with the scourge of Galamsey. However, some of their local officials allegedly profit from it. we demand, 1, that immediate investigations into the case of Honorable Oscar Labi, MP for Awen, and the chiefs that have accused him that he has counter-accused. And these 2 chairpersons of Axim, constituency chairpersons of Axim and Dunkwao, by the police and national security, ensuring complete transparency and no room for political protection. 2, public disciplinary action by the NDC if any of these allegations are proven.
The coalition is further demanding the prosecution of all political figures named in the Professor Frimpong Boateng's report for their roles in the illegal mining menace. Reporting for JoyNews, Collins Frimpong.
Well, we have Dare Boso. He is the Deputy Director for Arocha Ghana and member of the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining on the phone. Dare, why did the coalition actually wait until the final day for the amendment of LI 2462 to mature into law before, calling on the president to act?
Good evening to you. And I must say that the coalition did not rest, or we did not wait. We actually took steps right from the beginning to engage the government, to engage the Ministry of Lands, the Honorable Minister Emmanuel Amabua, as well as the Minister of Environment. But I must say that we did not get the listening ear as expected. I mean, all the time we submitted petitions to the presidency, even to the Speaker of Parliament, and also to the subsidiary committee. And all the time, we didn't even get them to listen to us and listen to the key issues that we are talking about. So I believe that the decision to even amend was just a decision taken by government themselves without even checking with us and all. The pre-laying period, they didn't engage. We reached out to them, but we didn't get the feedback that was needed. So we did not rest. It's a matter of the government not really listening to us and making sure that all the issues and concerns we had were taken into consideration before the amendment and bill was even laid before Parliament.
So what will be your next line of action if your demands are not met?
Well, I think we are going back to meet with the Minister for Environment, and also we wrote to the President and he indicated that we have a very extensive discussion with the Minister for Lands, and that's what exactly we are going to do. So we are going to go back to them and have a discussion and reiterate the issues that we have been pushing. And we expect that after that discussion, we are really going to have the necessary action that is needed.
Thank you so much for speaking to us here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Away from that to other stories, newly confirmed Municipal Chief Executive for Techima North is taking aim at 2 major challenges: revenue leaks and poor sanitation. Chairing his first ordinary meeting, Adum Kwabena Johnson unveiled plans to professionalize tax collection using ID-tracked officers and to roll out hundreds of waste bins across the district. And as Sabit reports.
Techima North's newly confirmed MCE, Adum Kwabena Johnson, unveils President Mohammed's development blueprint backed by action plans to transform the district. In a heavily attended first ordinary meeting of the Assembly, the MCE, embodying the spirit of Adum Wom, rallied the entire district leadership to support his dream of putting the district on the map.
We had General Assembly meeting to consider the recommendations from the Executive Committee. Prior to that, various subcommittees have had their meetings to recommend something for the Executive Committee to consider. After going through all the recommendations, the changes thereof, it is important that we submit all the recommendations to the General Assembly for the consideration of the House.
Adum Kwabena Johnson pledged an unwavering commitment to inclusive, transparent and accountable leadership, and most importantly, boost the Assembly's internally generated funds.
And so it is important that we take revenue mobilization very serious. And that is why I put up some measures for the General Assembly to approve.
The MCE announced immediate practical steps: provision of professional ID cards and jackets for revenue collectors for easy identification and accountability. Before that, however, A team has been deployed to collate data on all rateable properties across the district.
One of the measures is to make sure that we collect data on all rateable property across the district. I have set up a team. They have undergone training. They are going to embark upon this data collection exercise so that all rateable properties, we can have data on them.
Staffer and department heads present the strongest show of unity in years. Teachman North sent a message. The work has just begun. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Chobodon.
Well, a 15-year-old girl is inspiring many with her resilience, sitting for her basic education certificate examination just hours after giving birth. She went into labor during her ICT paper, delivered a baby, and returned to finish the rest of her exams. Irabana Akwe report.
The incident occurred at the Asenua Presby School here in the Ashanti region. Eyewitnesses say the girl complained of cramps after using the washroom and was assisted by a policewoman on duty and some community women. I realized she was in labor, so I rushed there. I was right, the baby's head was out. We helped her deliver and we decided to take her to the hospital afterwards.
It all happened right here, not in the hospital ward, but this office, that she brought her baby into the world.
The head pastor of the Asenua Presby Church, Reverend Kennedy Opoku, intervened and drove the girl to the hospital after delivering the baby, where they helped her cut the umbilical cord.
I thought it expedient to send her to the hospital instead of letting those who are around to come to her aid. At the time we got there, they just helped her to let the placenta come out because he had already given birth.
Mother of the teenage mother, Cecilia Adumankuma, who accompanied her daughter back to the exam center, recounted the moment she was informed. When they called to inform me she had delivered, I didn't know what to do. I knew she wasn't due, but I gave thanks to God. I went there to take care of her in the hospital. Doctors and nurses asked her if she could continue her exam. She said yes, she will come back and write. Against all odds, the teenager returned to write her exams for the rest of the week.
I didn't want my life to end. I want to continue my education.
Interesting. So why did you decide to come and write the exam again, even after just giving birth?
I want my child to know I didn't stop dreaming because I became a mother.
It has captured hearts and inspired many. A reminder that even in pain and uncertainty, hope can still be written, one paper at a time. For Joy News, Irabana Akwe, Kumase.